Let me try this again. I just got rudely interrupted by some update that wanted to update as soon as I was recording. So I'll start all over again from 10 minutes in. Good one. The reason why I'm leaving the comment section open is because it's a couple different reasons. Well, I'm saying goodbye to everybody because I think, I don't know if most of us know, but I believe the agents, they know, the top agents, they know that this year is the end year, that you know, one way or another, something's going to happen drastically. It's going to change the future of the world. My belief is that the future of the world is over. This world. The next world, it's not going to be a new world order. It'll be a new world, just Satan won't be in existence anymore. That's it. That's the only difference, you know, that I have. Now, when it comes to the comment section itself, and yeah, I'll read this again because I was interrupted by the update on the phone. I guess, you know, when you don't push that button to accept and say it's okay that Trump just wants to interrupt your phone and just put that alert out there, then I guess they kind of mess with you even more. But this question here is from Sean, Manic Madman. Says, I understand the targeting of people may mess with a person's mind, but let's say that you didn't even know you're being followed, or you didn't spot anyone around their car watching you and you just didn't realize a thing, or you were not even aware of what's going on. Then what? What is the whole purpose of it if you don't even know? Because if you don't know, then they're not in your head and you go about your normal daily life clueless about them, right? Yeah, clueless is the key word. And if that was the case, then how are they hurting you? I mean, yeah, because what you don't know can't hurt you, right? Or at least that's the saying. I'll explain to you how something you don't know can hurt you big time. I mean, especially the deception that's getting ready to happen. If you don't know, then you can't think about it to stress about it, can you? No. I honestly don't know, man. I know it happens, but with you, I don't see the benefit from it because you know these scumbags are doing it, and you know it is happening. And while knowing if you are not, and while knowing it, you're not showing you care. So what now for them is what I'm saying. Well, with them doing it to me as overtly as possible, I mean, nobody can deny some of these videos that I exposed the odd behavior of the things that are mathematically impossible. So they're helping me with this platform here to show it to other people and say, look. And on top of that, it's just straight up FBI gang stalking jobs. Google it. 24 to 45 hours an hour. Because in the end, they're going to tell you the truth. That's just what they're going to do. Do they try to front you, to try to cause you to react so they can get you arrested for assault? Yes, they would love that. I know you won't attack them, but I'm trying to make some sense of what the hell they can do to you if watching you is all they got. And you don't care, right? And they know this. So what now for them? Well, I mean, I care, but I understand what you're saying. I don't care about the tactic of the attempt of what they're trying to do, because I understand that Satan's behind it. But I also understand that Satan's doing this because he has to. This is God's will for Satan to get people to turn back to God. And Satan has no problem deceiving people because he loves doing it. I suppose you can't know until it happens, but just be careful because they see how relaxed about it you are, and so they may try to create a situation that you have not thought about, which you may fall victim to. Take care. Well, I've already said this. I expect the worst case scenario with me, and it's a Job type scenario, because I read the Bible and I look at it. Okay, well, this is a possibility. They could possibly do that. Satan could possibly ask God for permission to do that, but he has to ask God for permission to do that, and it's up to God if he wants that. If he's going to allow that to happen, then I have to accept it. But to say that I'm not prepared for the worst case scenario, no, I am. I'm prepared. So I'll go back to the beginning. If you just didn't realize anything and you're not aware of it, what's the point? Well, the point is this. When you're not aware that the moment everybody leaves your house, the exit enter campaign takes place, what they like to do is, well, they like to move shit around. I mean, they like to take things and misplace them, or just, you know, steal random things, move pictures around. I mean, if you live by yourself and you don't know, this is the part that what you don't know can hurt you. If you don't know something as simple as them just moving things around. Now, for somebody, if you have OCD, you're gonna pick it up like that, okay? If you don't, if you're kind of sloppy and you're a hoarder type and you just have a bunch of stuff already, you won't know the difference. However, they'll make sure that they make it aware to you of something being moved around and changed. Why would they do that? Well, the goal, think about what the goals are. Think about what Satan, his goals are. Yeah, he's doing God's, he's working for God because he has to do a lot of work in these last days. So when you don't know that stuff's moved around in your house, and the goal is to get you to think that you're nuts. The goal is to get you to report stuff to the cops, right? For instance, when you report something stolen from your house, and the first thing they're going to ask you is, well, is there forced entry? You'll be like, well, no. But okay, well, now the cop is automatically, even if he has no clue, it's automatically looking at you like, okay, well, you just freaking misplaced it, or, you know, or you're insane. There's something wrong with you. Now, if you call them again and you tell them something else is missing, well, they already have a file. Oh great, it's Robin again. Yeah, okay, yeah, you said that his car keys are missing or something. Somebody broke into his house again. As he's talking to his partner, like, or the sergeant, like, was there forced entry? No, that's the problem. This dude's freaking nuts, man. He thinks people are stealing shit out of his house. And then, if you don't know that the gang stalkers come into your house the moment you leave and they move stuff around, that's what some people are going to do. They're going to call the cops and they're going to say that stuff is missing. Or they're not going to call the cops, and let's say pictures are moved around, or things are turned inside out, or your clothes are changed, switched. Something is so obvious, you're going to think, oh my God, is there a ghost in my house? What's going on? Okay, if you're single, the goal of that is to get you to see a psychiatrist so you can say that you're seeing things being turned around and flipped upside down and moved in your house. And then they can diagnose you and say, oh, really? So have you seen something literally move? Well, no, I went in, right, and my dog's bed was moved a foot to the right. Remember, guys? That was a good one. Oh, well, so you didn't see it actually move. So tell me, Robin, did you actually see the bed move? Or did you come in and you seen the bed moved? Are you sure Bowie didn't just hop on it and skid it a freaking whole foot to the right side of the window? Yeah, I'm actually positive, because I have this thing, it's called a sense, okay? And circumstantial evidence, well, I can prove it, okay? So no, I didn't literally see it move. I just know that it frickin' moved, okay? So when you try to explain this to a psychiatrist, which is their goal, as you're explaining to it, they're like, oh, really? Interesting. It's interesting. So tell me more. Mm-hmm. Fucking nuts. Gotta get him some psychic meds. Right. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, we need to put him Halidol, Flaxolaxodol, Percodans, and... right, keep... Yes, now, Robin, how does that make you feel? Mm-hmm. Okay, fucking clinically insane. Right, yeah. Okay, that's fine, Robin. Yes, well, I'll tell you what. I'll have my supervisor. We'll review, the paper that I just wrote down and everything. We're gonna recommend. We're gonna recommend to. Well, I'll tell you what. Just come back here next week. Okay, same time. Don't bring anything with you, okay? Make sure you have everything in your house on it. Tell your parents you're gonna get locked up. So we're gonna we'll see you next week, okay? And we'll talk then, all right, Robin? Make sure you come, okay? Don't you miss this appointment next week, all right? Because we have a special place for you. Obviously, the idea is to get you to be diagnosed clinically insane, schizophrenic paranoia, because paranoia will destroy you. I hate to see a paranoid, Robin, okay? I mean, your discernment's through the freaking roof, and I don't know how, but hey, I'm gonna pretend that you're insane, because, well, it kind of is insane to be able to know the elite's plan and not even be part of the organization and be able to read their script and know what the hell they're doing. That's insane, okay? To know that and not be part of that group is insane. Insane. Another scenario of if you don't know, it'll hurt you is, well, let's say, take my situation, for instance. I'm married, right? I have a wife, I have a family, and let's say things go missing, right? And we know that it's all about the vibrations, good vibes or bad vibes. The Beach Boys, good vibrations. They're talking about good vibrations. So when the vibrations are interrupted, because it's like, honey, did you freaking take all of my socks and put them in the drawer underneath? No, I didn't touch your socks. You freaking lying bitch. You're lying to me. Wait, I mean, not me, of course. I don't smack my wife, All right? So, but do you see how the distrust, they'll try, I can only imagine the poor people. That's why I say the poor people that have no clue that they're going in your house and nobody can, you can't find out. Well, just get an alarm system, Robin. Oh, you mean from ADT? Sure. I'm sure ADT will have nothing to do with it. They won't just say, oh, okay, you're going in now? All right, I'll turn it off. Click. Are you done? Okay, good. I'll turn it back on. Click. So, division. You know, division. They're trying to cause division, right? Just like this letter right here. Okay. See this letter? Me too. This letter is here to cause division. Because in the end, well, hate to see you so paranoid. Furthest thing that I am is paranoid. I'm just somebody that has the ability to recognize a setup. I proved it a couple times before, and I said it again. This is the third time that I have a year and a half of a trial and tribulation that I got to go through, and I got to prove. Once it's done, I have to prove what I'm saying is true and that I understand what I'm saying. I understand what I'm seeing, and I will prove it. So when I proved it with the work situation of being targeted, I didn't even know I was being targeted. You know, I mean, that kind of hurt me a little bit because I didn't even know. But I knew I was being sabotaged. I just didn't realize it was the part of the targeting organization. I didn't realize that until now. So I'm good at it. I'll do the best job that I can to get the proof out there. So the main goal is to separate people, to get people to divorce and get family against family, to get son against father, to get daughter against mother. How's that possible? Well, because when you start accusing people in your own household for moving shit around or taking stuff, well, you're going to get tired of being accused of doing something that you didn't do. Trust me. We're done. You know what? Which reminds me. I know where Richie from Boston got that saying at. Hold on one second. It's from, well, hold on. Here.
And if you want an official Skippy Stare t-shirt, click on the link down below and you could go buy one. Or don't, I don't care. Or don't, I don't care. Or don't, I don't care. Bye.
Or don't. Like, subscribe, share, or don't. I don't care. Even though I completely care. So, back to the task at hand here. What you don't know, it can hurt you. What these people don't know about the deception of this play that's been going on, but the majority of the world's destruction happening in like the last 7 days or so. I mean, in the end, it's not going to hurt them, I don't think, because they're going to turn to God anyway. But between them, between that time, they you know, it's like living an absolute horror story movie. Even though this is supposed to be a horror film as it is, living the way that we are with these gang stalkers, but it's not. So when all that stuff does jump off, and you know, the top agents, they know it's going to jump off. They know the time frame. And you know, the leaders, they know too. They have their date in mind. They know the date. And for me, it wasn't so. It's like God makes sure that when they start their crap, like when I finally started recognizing that they're, that number one, I'm being stalked, okay? I don't really, I have to think about when I first realized that, or even thought of, I don't even know how I even began to even think of people stalking me or why, but I just did. And then I love how, you know, never mind, I'm not even going to get into it. But once I realized it, then it's like anything else. When you start to know what's going on, like when I knew I was being sabotaged at work, what I did was I started to take notes. I started to pay attention. And same with this. I start taking mental notes. I start studying. I start looking up the habits and the patterns, the color codes, everything. And I start seeing them more and more. So I use this camera that I have, and I start going up to them and showing other people, isn't this odd behavior? And it is. It is odd behavior. So I'm able to help people to make this aware to you, because I don't know anybody, okay? I don't know any of you guys. But those who are watching my video, if you come across this where I think in all likelihood everybody is targeted in the entire world, okay? Now, it's a matter of once you're targeted, it doesn't mean you're a godly person, doesn't mean you're 144,000, doesn't mean any of that. It means you have this side of the elite, and you have this side, who is everybody else. This side is targeting every human being in the world, because every human being is being watched. Now, me, personally, I made myself public. I made myself a target because I'm representing the truth. I'm representing God, the Creator. So I'm representing His message. And my message has always been God's judgment is on the entire world. And it's been that way ever since 7 years ago. Now, my personal view is that when people are being targeted, they either fold and join, or they stand up and rise and fight and prove as much as possible. I'm going out on top no matter what. If I die, I'm going out on top. I live again. I continue on no matter what. So in the meantime, while I still have this platform, I will expose everything and anything as much as I can, because I don't fear any man or woman or machine or gun or anything. There's no fear here. You can't have fear. Satan is the one that's trying to instill that fear into you. So the fear of the people that turn to the other side, and there's quite a few of them. And I'm pretty sure I've came across some people that have done that, or has always been on that side, one way or another. Now, but to know the truth and turn from it, well, you know the saying, it's going to be worse for you in the end, you know, than it was in the beginning, because you're going to wish you were never born because of the destruction that's really going to happen to you. For the ones that don't know, well, they're going to know. They're going to find out. And like the reason I did that video of Ed Bassmaster is because he's not a bad guy. I'm sure he has a good heart. He's a decent human being. I don't even think he understands the targeting situation either. I mean, who does? I didn't even know. And I've been into this for 7 years, 10 years, but 7 years of the tribulation. And in the last year and a half, well, my understanding has grown. And I didn't know anything about targeting and gang stalkers until this year. So I don't expect anybody else to really understand that. But for him, not a bad guy. I just want my message to get to him, that's all. Because he has a platform, and he was talking about the May 21st, 2011, and October 21st. Not that he's going to switch his, all of a sudden believe, or even watch my video, or even see it, but I have a feeling it'll get to him. I just do. I'll leave it in God's hands to get to him. Just so he can know, because that's all I want people to do, is just to know what's getting ready to happen. I don't want people to be deceived. I don't want people turning against each other. I don't like it in my own household when there's conflict. So what I've done from the beginning is I made things aware to my entire family. I made things aware to everybody that I work for. I made things aware to everybody on my email list that I sent the copy of that letter and the 6-page letter. I sent it to everybody. Everybody has heard it. I don't know how much more work I can do to try to get this across to everybody. I've done that before I even got on YouTube. YouTube is just the final platform that I have to get it across to possibly thousands of people. I know it's hundreds at a time with the views, but sometimes there's thousands of people that watch, and I never know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter 1 or 2 or 1,000 or 1,000,000. It's the fact that people's eyes are seeing the video, their ears, they're hearing what I'm saying. You don't have to believe it. I don't force anybody to believe it. I don't expect anybody to believe it from the very beginning. Honestly, that's the way I am. I just present the facts that I know, and I allow you to make the judgment call. Because how can I force you to believe me anyway? I can't. If I sat around and started slamming down the frickin' hammer and the mallet and telling you to believe me, damn it. Well, it's kind of like a red flag where why are you insisting on people to believe you so much? Just let them think for themselves. But that's Satan. Satan is forcing his will on you. It's a forceful feeling, and it's sickening. So, for me, well, I know firsthand that through the comment section from before, they were looking for that meltdown video. Weren't you guys? I know you're still watching. You just, you're not coming on as the same spewing, disgusting liars that you were. Well, because I blocked you, first of all, so you had to come with a different account. But where's that meltdown video, man? I mean, where is it? Ever since the what happens is when I get challenged. So when I see that people are literally just waiting to party and enjoy themselves and probably masturbate to a meltdown video that they were expecting me to do, all I did was I just ramped it up and started doing more videos. Longer and longer and longer. And I don't think you expected that, did you? And I'm still here. Every single day, I'm still here. As long as possible. As much as I can say. I don't even know what I'm saying sometimes. I just push record and talk, and whatever comes to mind comes to mind. I mean, while you have other people like as a new employee, you are required to complete our new employee-oriented training within your first 2 weeks. And I'm not really reading, I swear. I'm not really, I have my papers going over here. Yeah, so, with the new employee, and you're required to, complete the orientation training after, like a couple weeks of employment. You see what I'm saying? I like people that can think off the top of their head. I like people that, well, like myself, people that can talk unscripted, and you have a brain of your own. You think on your own. You don't have anybody handing you something and saying, here, read this, and pretend that you're not. Do the best possible job of pretending that you're not reading. That's authentic. When people can think the top of their head, and you know what? Stare directly at the camera, because the camera hole, because anybody that has a cell phone, right? You know that you can't read little tiny letters that are like right in front of the camera hole, can you? You can't. So when people want to look to the left and to the right and up and down and left and side and backwards, or cover your eyeballs, you know, when you cover your eyes too much, it shows that you just don't have thoughts in your own head that you can say. You need to remember your lines or read your lines. Now when you look over here at yourself, well, it's possible that you could be reading, because I can see myself here as I'm looking at myself, and I'm sure there's a technology that can have words coming across and you can read whatever. I mean, I'm sure that's possible, right? But I've always been that way, and I've always looked directly into the camera because I feel like I'm looking at you guys and talking to you. I'm not looking at myself and talking to myself, because it doesn't feel right. It feels like I'm looking at myself. So I always look right into there. So that's why I have the comment section back open, because I'm saying goodbye, people, okay? I am. I know that this is the end. This is the end of our platform. This is the end of the world as we know it. You know, Satan's world. It's not the end of our world. It's only the beginning of our world. But it's up to your faith. What kind of faith do you have? Do you truly believe that God's going to put an end to it, like Bible prophecy says? Or is the Bible just a fictitious book written by the elite to get us all excited about nothing? Now, again, I have 20 seconds left. I see that the elite is playing the Bible out, end time prophecy, page by page, but I can see that they don't understand it spiritually. God has given us the spiritual meaning and understanding behind the verses that they don't know. So they're lost, and it's a shame for them, because they're going to see in the end what God really has in store for them.